Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sew Like a Pro. This is going to be a quilt series. So I found this image on Pinterest and printed out. It's a carpenter's star. And then it shows you the pattern for the star. So what I did was I counted the 8 squares down, 8 squares across, 64 squares. So it's a block quilt. So I determined that the size I want my quilt to be, this block is a 60-inch square, because I'm making a queen size quilt. So, and this is a true square, so it has to be 60 by 60. And the length, I extend a different pattern on the bottom and on the top to finish it off to make it 120 by 80. So I determined that I needed to cut my squares 11.5 inches so that I could put the two together and then split them and set up my pattern for my color. So what I did was I created my own grid with my colors. And then I can figure out how many of each color I need. This pattern takes 3 colors. You probably could do it with more, but then again you have to make out your grid, and then I follow my grid and I know exactly my colors. So what I'm going to do is take and stitch this row first, this row second, join them together, this row, and continue until I get the whole entire thing completed. So here I determined how many navies and royals I needed and stitched them together, how many orange and royal I needed. Let's see, one more orange and navy, royal and navy and royal. So I determined how many colors I needed, how many solid ones, how many mixed ones. I took it and squared it and put a line down the center, stitched on either side, split them, cut them open, and press them. So this is how we're going to do this quilt. So it's basic, but get your grid, find your pattern, multiply, figure out what size you want it so you can determine how big to make each block, add seam allowance, decide whether you want to join them together like this or just split them and stitch them together. It's just easier. Stitch them together, then cut them, press them to one side, and then begin to assemble your pattern pieces together. So I'll make sure I show you the finished block. May God bless all your sewing, knitting, quilting projects, and please take the time to do something for somebody else. Be a blessing to somebody else, and God will bless you indeed. God bless all your sewing and knitting projects. Welcome back to Sew Like a Pro. So I'm taking my pieces and I'm going to follow my grid, and then I'm going to pin the pieces together in order to make sure that it's following the pattern and it's coming out exactly right. So no boo-boo, no errors, no picking out. And I'll be back with the finished product. Good morning. Welcome to Sew Like a Pro. I finally finished my carpenter's star. It took me 2 days to sew all the pieces together. So I purchased 100% cotton Waverly collection that all came from Walmart. They cost like $2.99 a yard. I brought them all home. I soaked them in water. I didn't wash them. I soaked them in water, and then I threw them in the dryer on high heat so that they could shrink. So I always suggest that you pre-shrink your fabrics. You want to care for them the way you want to care for them later. You know, if you're going to wash it, then you wash it first so it'll shrink. You don't have to worry about it shrinking anymore. Hopefully it won't shrink anymore. It's called a carpenter's star, and I have my border finished with that little rick-rack zigzag. So it came out pretty nice. I suggest that You cut all one day and then begin to sew. So I have my top finished, and I still have to finish my back. So finish your front, but you got to go and finish your back. You can just do a solid piece on your back, or you can do the same thing in a different color on your back. So I want you to see that every time, believe me, you're going to mess up. Some points are not going to come out perfect. So what I did was, is I fixed my points as they came out off a little bit. I went back and fine-tuned them and made my points. Don't do all this work and then just half do it. Do it, take your time, and make it come out really beautiful. You enjoy your quilt. Make a sample in a smaller size. Donate it to a shelter. Give it for a gift for a baby or something. Make it like, 36 by 36 or something. This finished 80 by 120 for a queen size bed. So any suggestions on anything that you want to learn, if it's in my ability, I'll make a video for you. God bless you, and may God bless all your sewing projects. Sew like a pro. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shake it together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. So the greatest gift is the gift of love. So give some love, and you shall receive some love. Amen.